Welcome, Cannabis family. This is Scotty G from the 420link.com podcast, and we are here keeping it real. So we keep it real on the podcast, and today we are keeping it real with Ed G, one of the founders of the 420link.com. So Ed, welcome to the podcast. How you doing, brother?
Scotty. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Great to see you, man. Great to see you. Yeah, most definitely. Had a great podcast last week in Austin. I'll tell you, Austin is an amazing city. Everybody there is really, really nice and friendly. JT and I were able to hang out. We just had a good time. So in addition to that, we were able to see a lot of profiles that were added since then. So that was a really positive. So keep on coming bringing those profiles in. Any questions, just bring up our way. And also would like to talk about, I Smoke Mobile a little bit and dive into a little bit of Web3. So I Smoke Mobile, as y'all remember, a couple weeks ago, we did a podcast with Joshua on the top of I Smoke Mobile in the 420 Link VIP area.
What's up, Josh?
What's going on, Joshua? And we really had an amazing time. So really, other than with I Smoke Mobile that we know a lot about, if you can also maybe tell us a little bit about Web3, what do they do for the 420 Link, and what do the consumers get?
Yeah, so Web3 is a sponsorship that we recently signed. Basically what they do is they're in the NFT market, so they combine NFTs with clothing. When you get a chance, go ahead and check us out, the420link.com. We have some more information on there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have, they're gonna provide some kind of clothing, whether it's a jacket, a t-shirt, socks, whatever it may be, and they combine it with an NFT, and then so your clothing becomes like an NFT, it's forever. So that's it's a collaboration that they did a collaboration with a couple other companies, and that's how we came across them. But I think it's going to be a fun project. We're going to have a cool caveman, which spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, everybody.
Yeah, there's going to be a caveman involved, so just stay tuned, check it out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice, a cool, something to wear, rock.
So what do you mean forever when you talk about the shirt?
So there's a shirt. If you buy the shirt, basically the shirt is something happens to that shirt with the graphic on the shirt. You just go ahead and send them in some information, take a couple of pictures, and then they just send you a new t-shirt. So
it really is forever shirt then.
Yeah, so as long as you hold that NFT, you have a forever t-shirt.
So you get the NFT and you get the forever t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty neat. So since you did a little spoiler alert, tell us a little bit about Caveman NFTs.
Yeah, so the Caveman NFTs, that's something that's coming out here shortly. We got a few projects coming on before that one, but it's basically NFT. The NFT is going to have some utility to it. It also comes with the Web3 Wear project that you also get some gear with it. And then we're going to also these are going to be up for sale as well. So just stay tuned. Like I said, keep checking the 420link.com. Every time something new comes up, you'll know it first.
Yeah, so really, let's dive into some more questions. With that being said, I guess, what would be the main difference between the 420link.com and then the 420link social app and marketplace?
So basically, the 420link is the main hub. That's where everything happens. If you need to know anything of what we're gonna do or where we're headed, that's where you need to go. So check out the website. In the website, you have different areas where you can find out more what we're doing, where we're at. We have a marketplace for clothing. We recently got our trademark, so now we got the clothing line out there.
Some cool bathing suits, right? Some sandals.
Yeah, there's sandals, shorts, socks, a few things there, t-shirts. There's a hat or two in there as well, but we got that. You could check out the NFT like I mentioned a little while ago. There's also a token, and there's a social media. So diving into the social media a little bit.
Yeah.
The social media is basically an application for the community, right? We found space in the community where there's nobody in there. So through trials and tribulations, problems that personally we ran into, we figured out let's build something for the community. We started as a website turned into a social media app.
Right, so you would say like the 420link.com is more of like the umbrella. Okay, and then within that umbrella, there's links, ways to go to the NFTs. There's also the 420link social app and marketplace. There's value, and like we're going to get into in a minute, because I'll talk to you and ask you about the T4L token.
Yep.
And we'll get there. But when you talked about that, there was opportunities that you noticed in basically the industry, I would say then, where did you start your cannabis industry? Like, what state was it in, and what position did you start at? Not everybody, when you join the industry, starts at the top. We all hustle.
That's real, because went to California and decided I always wanted to do real estate, right? So ended up in California. When I got there, I figured out there was a market for marijuana, and it was legal. You're on the other side of the world, like, what in the world's happening here? So I got into it, started finding my way around, see what I needed to do, got all the paperwork I needed. You need to be a collective, that's the only way you can operate. So opened up a collective and literally just started picking up the phone, looking at Craigslist ads. Hey, where do I find a grower, right? So found a grower, then I got all my stuff together. I started posting on, I'm sure you guys are familiar with WeMaps. And then from there, man, I just started making deliveries. So I was a delivery in the beginning.
There you go.
From the delivery, while I was doing real estate at the same time, I ran into a couple of investors, and then from there we went into a dispensary in El Cajon. We opened up a dispensary in El Cajon, and at that same time, I just my wife's cousin, me and him were talking for a while, trying to figure out what's missing in the industry, and I kept saying, like, people just show up all the time with crazy stuff, like, people show up with pounds of weed to the dispensary. And
so for those that don't know kind of how the industry is out in certain states, they might not be from a state that has vertically integrated, industries.
Yeah.
So tell me, how would be an average day of you being in your dispensary? Someone would just stop by out of nowhere and say, hey, by the way, I have...
Yeah, so it was weird, they'll just they'll come in and say, hey, there's a manager here, so I'll come out the back and, hey, just want to talk to you about some bud that I got. And he'll be like, I just got some samples here, but he'll come, he'll be like, give me a second, let me go get some, and he'll just walk in with, 10 pounds. And just be like, I know where you at, man. If you like it, just hold it. Let me know. I'll come back and I'll put some money later.
Yeah. So all you growers know exactly what he's talking about. Okay? If you're at California or you're in Colorado, you know exactly what he's talking about.
Well, they make it responsible right then and there, right? Like, here you go, bro. Just call me when you're good to go. And it was okay, right? But there was, then it got to a point when I started, it was cool, but then it got to a point where I had turned people away. Like, I just can't hold it, bro. Like,
too much coming to your girl, right?
Everywhere.
Right.
And so that's where the 420 link came about. It was like, man, the 420, and I'm sitting in the garage smoking, and I'm thinking, the link, we gotta link them up. And so that's how the shit was born, man.
That's outstanding. So what's the best part about being in the cannabis industry?
Shit, man, it's the people, I think. Seriously, it's the people. The community is it's no community like the 420 community. Everybody got their own little thing, but when you come to the community, anybody that's in the cannabis industry, it's love. There's no, me by myself, like, yo, come on, hang out with us, let's chill.
That's cannabis chill for you right there, right?
It's a different community, straight up.
All right, so we talk about the community. There's the community which are patients which can be also customers, which can be consumers. There's the physicians. There's the dispensaries. How important is education to businesses and to then the final consumer when it comes to cannabis?
I think that's the piece that has been missing for a long time, because miseducation was out there. You get informed about stuff that's actually not real. So do your own homework, right? Being in the industry, I met a lot of people that beat cancer. Just a good point to talk about. I did a couple of shows at High Times, HepCon, and being there, you meet people like, man, I'm the poster child. I beat cancer 5 times, and then I got people on the East Coast that are fucking dying because this shit's not legal. You know what I mean? and this dude beat it 5 times. How do you beat it 5 times? Nobody has the same. You know, so it's that missing. That's a big.
And then when you came over to Florida, after people started using cannabis, you started hearing the same stories again on how the benefits of it, and yeah, I remember, you know, with keeping all, you know, everyone private, I was somewhere working, and someone came up to me and said, "Hey, Scotty, how you doing?" I said, I'm doing great. You know, what's going on? They're like, "Man, I rode my motorcycle here." I'm like, "That's awesome." And they're like, "Well, remember when I first came, I couldn't sign my name?" And it was like, wow.
Relief.
Wow. I mean, imagine working your entire life to when you finally can retire. You know, you finally retire, and really all you want to do is now chill out and go ride out on your bike. And forget it, now you can't do it. And now cannabis is allowing this person to be able to do that. So this is one of those things where it's like, it doesn't just affect, you know, that person's life, it's probably affecting everyone that lives in the same house, you know, as that person.
That's a big thing. You see people tell you that all the time. They take a lot of prescription, you know, especially in these shows. They tell you, like, especially people that are in wheelchairs for certain reasons, and so they take all these prescriptions and they can't leave the house. And then they get introduced to cannabis. Now they have a life. You know, they get relief. They have a life. They could go out. I mean, some going out is better than no going out. You know what I mean? So they still got challenges, but the relief is there.
So when you were leading a lot of, you know, the dispensaries, you really made sure to drive the point on the education piece.
That's important, man. You gotta know why, right? Because if you just follow the trend like all the old folks used to do, they're just doing it to do it. You know? If you get educated, it's a better way, easier way.
Yeah, it's like
save money.
Let the consumer decide what they want. You just tell them as much information as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, really, I mean, both would be affected. You know, it took me a little bit for someone to offer me a one-to-one because I'm such a, everyone knows me as my sativa person. I mean, I'll give a shout out to my boy Chris Sunshine. I got Sunshine Haze with me today. Thank you, buddy.
There you go.
But you know, I mean, because I wasn't more of a CBD or an indica leaning person, why would we offer Scotty, you know, a one-to-one? Well, please let me have some of the CBD to kind of help out with the anxiety a little bit, you know, regulate my tolerance. And then it was, you know, normally the other one part was an indigo, which I normally didn't like to go all the way indigo, but when it mixed with the CBD, it was like a perfect balance. That is my indigo.
Yeah.
So, and I'm in the industry, and it took a little bit to get that education, but from the business standpoint, if you were running a dispensary, imagine the revenue that you would be losing from somebody like me that wants to purchase it.
Give me the opportunity. I don't know what you got back there. Tell me what you're doing, what you got back there.
Right, definitely. You know, so when you, like, look, during COVID, I will tell you that working in the cannabis industry was a privilege because we became an essential business, okay? Right. But I definitely learned that there were two definitions of working hard, right? So I would say, I'm asking you, between, let's say, a 1 to 10, how hard do you need to work in this industry? And then how many days realistically do you need to work in this industry? You know, kind of explain that why.
Yeah, so honestly, there is no clock. Let's just put it that way. There is no days, there's no time, there's no clock. You gotta just, so like I said, I started this back in California, and this has been now about, I don't know, 8-9 years now, something like that, maybe a little longer. It's been that long because of the stuff that we've gone through, right? There's just so many things in the way that happen that doesn't let us push forward. Thank God we built a decent team that helped us move a little bit faster in the last couple of years. We've been able to move a little bit in the right direction, but as far as our work, man, it's...
So like a 1 to 10.
Man, you put me at 11 because...
that one.
There just doesn't. There's no time. There's no stopping. It's just got to get things done. gotta get it done now, meetings 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, whatever it may take, you know, there's wake up early in the morning, and don't get it wrong, you know, this is not the only hustle, right? You got other hustles you gotta do, so that even takes more of your time. So I tell you guys right now, man, if you're gonna do something like this, you gotta put the work in, yo. It's not gonna come easy, it doesn't.
Yeah, everybody tells
There's a
us they wanna
stigma
do it.
out there, everybody's scared of something, then you gotta prove them wrong, then you gotta tell them why they're wrong, you gotta bring, there's numbers out there, the analytics are there, so when you tell somebody and they like look at it like, oh man, I didn't know there was a $3 billion market, you know what I mean? So it's, the numbers are out there.
When you joined the industry, did you get a lot of haters?
Yeah, definitely. So, quick story, funny one, right? I'm in Days and Busters. I got 420 Link shirt. This is back in the days of throwback shirts. I walk out to go hit the joint real quick because I'm inside playing games. I'm like, man, I need to fucking slow down a little bit. So I hit the joint. Walking back in, dude stops me. He's like, yo, can't come in with that shirt. And I'm like, can't come in with that shirt? I was like, yo, I was just in there. He's like, nah, but I can't let you in with that shirt. I said, what's wrong with my shirt? He's like, well, you got drugs on there. I said, yeah, it's, all I see is a leaf. Some numbers in a leaf. Where do you see drugs? He's like, oh, no, but it's marijuana. I'm like, okay. But there's a guy that just passed me right there. He's got a bunch of booze and things snapping together, beer pouring out of his shirt, so that's cool, right? I said, I'm not even until you tell me why I gotta get out of here. Well, it's on our rule book. And I said, oh, really, where is it? He says, right there, walk over. We start reading. Like, man, I don't see it on the rule book. And he's like, all right, man, do me a favor. I'll just give you a Days and Buster shirt. Shout out Days and Buster. I give you the Days and Buster shirt, you put it over your shirt. I said, all right, well, what are you gonna do about that one?
Right.
How you gonna hide that one? He's like, man, you good, go ahead.
You could go ahead, right. This was a long sleeve Dave Buster's leather jacket. You didn't know.
But those are, you know, little things like, it's a leaf. Where did you see drugs? Like, there's no drugs.
That's the same person right now that's probably coming around saying that somebody in their family was saved by cannabis. And, you know, and that's normally, unfortunately, when people turn around.
They did have
when people turn around. You know, so what was your proudest moment? You know, where you know, being in the industry, what was, I would say then, your biggest failure? You know, and then what did you learn from it? You know, all successful people fail. So I know you're great. You know, so what makes you great? So there had to have been something.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's where we at now, right? Because we're here, we're in a podcast, we got tons of followers, we got a social application. We have a team, you know, we actually have meetings about what we're going to do next, how things are going to move forward. You know, one of once we signed that first, you know, sponsorship, that was like a wake-up call. Like, oh man, that's cool. Like, I actually get to sign some paperwork for some sponsorship. You know, it's sign paperwork to go to work for somebody. Sign that paperwork, and it's because you're doing your own thing. Yeah, that's when you realize, like, man, this is actually happening, you know? You're moving,
And you knew, that's when you knew you were the man right then and there?
I was hoping that was part of it, right?
Yeah.
Let's get it going, you know?
Listen, hustle wins every time. I'm proud of you, you know, that's for sure, man. I'm proud of everything that you're doing. You know, I love hanging out with you in general, you know?
Sure.
It's nice when we get to hang out when we're not in a meeting. You know, so, you know, that's your proudest moment. You know, I'll tell you, you know, 9 out of the 10 things that I've done outstanding, there might have been one that really taught me a lesson, you know, and it's because I reached far enough, you know, that I might have failed once, but that one failure is the reason why I was so successful 9 out of 10 times, you know. So do you have anything that like has happened or, you know, through your careers or in life that really is just give you that inner drive to, because I know how hard you work and I know how hard we've been working and the stuff that we've been through over the past couple of years, you know, working Monday through Monday, you know, 14 to 18 hours, you know, and, you know, and you had a lot of growth, you know, so what would you say if it's not a failure, how do you get that inner drive or will to continue to succeed? What keeps you motivated?
So, you know, aside from, you know, the usual, the trying to be, you know, somebody better, make sure I have something for my family. It's just, there's no, failure is not an option. So,
Just an opportunity.
to learn, right? So you just, there's no other option. You got to succeed. So only way to do that is you wake up every day and you go out there and you get it. Whatever it is you're doing, you gotta push. It's not gonna be easy. And then when people tell you you're lucky, it's not lucky. You know, you're not lucky. You make your luck. So if you're making your luck, you're not lucky.
Yeah, there's no elevator.
You're lucky if you go buy some scratch-offs and hope that you hit a couple bucks, right? You was at the right time, at the right place at the right time, but nah, man, it's no such thing as luck. Getting to this level is hard work, grinding, talking to people, being on the phone, staying up late, doing, whatever it may take. You just can't sit there and wait for somebody to do it for you. You can't wait for it to happen. You go out there, you get it, you make it happen.
Yeah, gotta hustle.
Hustle.
Keep it moving. Yeah, it's like you die on the treadmill, right? Right?
Yeah, one's good.
Right? So I had people logged in and sent in a chat about the token. Everyone's asking about the token. So tell me, about the T4L token, how does it work? And then when do you think maybe the rest of the cannabis community is going to be able to benefit from it?
Yeah, so the TA4L token is basically, it's going to be our crypto side of our business, along with the NFTs. But the T4L token is going to have utilities. You're going to be able to do things with this. So basically, you have a crypto coin that you can do things with in our application. Don't want to give away too many things right now because there's a lot of things that we're working in the background that we have to finish before we talk about it. But this token is going to have utility. You're going to be able to buy swag with it. You're going to be able to do certain things on our application with it. There's eventually a metaverse coming. That's going to be huge. The token in the metaverse. The white pages, the white paper is up, so take a second, read it. A lot of the stuff is on there, but there are other things that it's going to have utility for that we're just not talking about in the front end at the moment. That is also tied to the application as far as a referral. So just check out the website for more information on how that referral is going to work on the T4L token.
And so where could they find the white pages?
So go right to our website, the420link.com. You'll see a little button right halfway down the pages that say white pages. Click on that, you download it. It gives you all the information you need. It's a little bit of reading, but if you got a few minutes, read it. If not, check back soon. We're going to have a video about it for the people that don't like to read too long because, I get bored after a couple of minutes of reading.
Heard on that one, right? Heard on that one. So if they went to the white pages, it would dive a lot more into.
Yeah, it's going to give you a lot more about the entire company, how everything's structured, why we're here, what's the problem, what we're solving,
Roadmaps.
It's going to tell you where we're going, what's coming up next, what quarter. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening for the 420 link. Check us out for sure.
Perfect. One of the reasons why I want to talk about that is I'm noticing a lot of questions that have been coming in are easily answered on the website. So just whenever you have a question, first go directly to the420link.com. Right now, Sleepy Trees' videos on there. We have the podcast from last week on there. The link from Google is on there right now. We're going to be adding the barcodes for you to easily get onto the Apple link because you have to go through the test flight right now. Hopefully within the next couple of days, Apple push everything through, and then you can go ahead and just sign in and set up a profile just as if you had an Android. So just a couple reminders. Remember, next week we're going to have some fun on Thursday at 7:10. Which is the 28th. We're going to be interviewing somebody that currently works in a cannabis dispensary. I've spoken to a couple so far. Outstanding people, some great stories, very interesting stories. Remember, recreational. If you are in medical, please remember the HIPAA laws that go along with the stories that are being told. So just remember to stay within guidelines, but please keep sending them in. I want to make sure to give everybody a chance because we will be interviewing somebody that works inside a cannabis dispensary at 7:10 next Thursday. It's going to be playing on YouTube, and it's going to be at 7:10 p.m. Eastern, which once again is 4:10 p.m. on Pacific time. So as long as I talk more than 10 minutes, they can enjoy 4:20, and everybody here can enjoy 7:10, which I wouldn't mind enjoying a little bit of 7:10. So I say we take this time and we close it out, enjoy ourselves, and take it out. How about it?
I'm in. There you go. Which one are you gonna use?
How about you set it up for me and I'll pour? How about this? Before I break someone's glass.
There you go.
All right, so happy 7:10, happy 4:20 on the Pacific time. Thank you all for joining us again. Please make sure to go down whenever possible straight to the 420link.com app. We're going to be adding some more information on there, making sure that all your questions are answered. We're also going to be adding some type of comment box on the app. So later, when everything is released, you can go ahead and leave some comments, and an administrator will go ahead and reach out. And looks like I might go ahead and enjoy myself.
You want to drop it?
Yeah, you go right ahead, buddy.
There you go, Scotty ripping it.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Ed. You are awesome. 420link.com. Keeping it real. Join us again next week. We love y'all. We're peace out.
Peace.